Have you ever dreamed of living in a huge, luxurious mansion? What if I told you there are some amazing mansions around the world that no one wants, not even for a single dollar? Sounds crazy, right? These beautiful homes come with shocking secrets, creepy pasts, or weird conditions that scare buyers away. In today's video, we're exploring the jaw-dropping stories behind these abandoned million-dollar mansions that nobody wants to own. Let's dive in. Number 1. Granat Lamake. So people would actually want this property and would pay $1 for it, but it sat on the market for an incredibly long time. So long, in fact, that after being originally listed for $40 million, its price was slashed to just $19.5 million. I'd call that a bargain if I ever saw one. The beautiful property is described as America's largest log cabin. Financier Louis G. Kaufman built it between 1919 and 1923 north of Marquette, Michigan, on a peninsula in Lake Superior. It spans 5,000 acres and is listed on the Register of Historic Places. The main home is 26,000 square feet, built with a steel frame, cement and stone cladding, and Oregon pine. It has everything you'd expect in a log cabin, but on a grander scale. It features a massive stone fireplace, plus 25 additional fireplaces throughout half of the 50 rooms, along with 23 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, and a kitchen similar to the one in the White House. If you were to buy this property, you'd also get a farm with 13 buildings, including 2 additional houses, a barn, a wind turbine, an apple orchard, and a swimming pool. But there's a catch. With the reduced price of $19.5 million, you'd only receive 415 acres instead of the original 5. Number 2. Linwood Hall. With so much tragedy attached to Linwood Hall, one of the most beautiful Gilded Age mansions in the US, you'd probably hesitate before signing on the dotted line. What if the same tragedy followed you? Honestly, many people just say it's not worth the risk. Today, Linwood Hall sits abandoned, slowly falling into disrepair. Built between 1897 and 1900 on a 480-acre estate in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. It was commissioned by Peter Whittier, a U.S. tycoon, art collector, and investor in the Titanic. And we all know how that ended. Peter lost his wife in 1896 when she died aboard their family yacht. Mourning her loss, he decided to leave their townhouse and create a new home for himself and his children. The limestone, T-shaped mansion spanned 70,000 square feet and cost around $8 million to build. It boasted 110 rooms, including 55 bedrooms, 20 bathrooms, a ballroom for 1,000 guests, and an art gallery. To run it, Peter employed 37 permanent staff and 60 more for the gardens. Peter died at the estate in 1915. His son George would have inherited it, but since Peter had invested in the Titanic, George, his wife Eleanor, and their son Harry decided to return home aboard the ill-fated ship. George and Harry both died, and Peter's other son Joseph inherited the estate. Joseph died in 1943, and none of his children wanted the mansion, so it was left to crumble. Over the years, it changed hands, and many of its prized features were stripped and sold. Number 3. Aubrey Lewis's house. A beautiful 4,000 square foot Victorian mansion at 44 Pleasant Avenue looked like it was straight out of a dream. It belonged to respected Montclair resident Aubrey Lewis. A stunning home with remarkable history. Sign me up! But as spectacular as it was, the house was listed for just $10 and still didn't sell. Why? Because there was a catch, a pretty big one. You couldn't live in the house as is. For your $10, you'd own the home, but you'd have to pay to move it off the site and onto your own land. That process would be massively expensive, and most people didn't think it was worth it. The house was originally built in 1906 on a 2.7-acre site in Montclair, New Jersey. Aubrey and his wife Anne lived there until his death in 2001. After that, Anne handled the property and thought selling it was the best choice. Even with an offer of $10,000 toward moving costs, the total would have exceeded $200,000, not including the cost of new land. Eventually, the home was demolished and a cluster of new homes took its place. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. The home of Conrad Aiken. Conrad Aiken was a well-known American writer and poet. He won the Pulitzer Prize, the National Book Award, and wrote novels, short stories, and even a play. But his fame came with a dark backstory, one that began in his childhood home. Conrad was the eldest of 4 children born to wealthy parents. His father, Dr. William Ford Aiken, was a doctor, and his mother, Anna Potter Aiken, was a socialite. His father suffered from mental illness and was paranoid that his family would institutionalize him. The couple argued often, especially about money. In 1901, when Conrad was just 11 years old, things took a terrifying turn. One day, after hearing his parents argue, his father began to count to 3. On 3, Conrad heard gunshots. Rushing into their bedroom, he found that his father had killed his mother, then taken his own life. The house remained empty for years. When Conrad became an adult, he was offered the chance to live in his old home for free, but he chose instead to buy the house next door. After his death, a doctor purchased the original home. He reported seeing mysterious orbs and hearing strange noises. Paranormal investigators later captured over 50 orbs and even a male voice whispering, "Do you want to know what I know?" Awesome batch of stories again. Number 5. Seekyakit. Pierce Mansion standing tall at 6,661 square feet, the Seekyakit Pierce Mansion in West Broadway is the kind of place that makes people cross the street or hurry their step. Its haunted reputation precedes it, with good reason. This eerie 10-bedroom Victorian mansion was built by Sylvester K. Pierce, a wealthy chair manufacturer. Around 200 men worked day and night for 18 months to complete it, even constructing a secret tunnel to his factory. But what makes it infamous isn't just the architecture. Paranormal experts and mediums, at least 6 of them, have verified it as haunted. We're talking stories of a murdered prostitute, a ghostly nanny, and even a little boy who appears in mirrors. It's said that the creepy vibes here inspired horror classics like Psycho and The Addams Family. Eventually, the mansion was sold for just $329,000 and turned into a historical ghost tour business. That's right, people pay to enter. But would you dare to live there? Number 6. Villa Maggiata, despite being designed by Frank Sinatra himself. This luxurious desert retreat has been listed 3 times in 5 years, and still, no takers. Located in Palm Desert, California, this cozy frame hideaway was named Villa Maggio after Sinatra's character in From Here to Eternity. It boasts 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and views that stretch for miles. Inside, think rich wood paneling, 7 stone fireplaces, 2 kitchens, and even a helicopter pad. Not to mention a guest house, pool house, tennis courts, and 2 saunas. Originally listed at $3.95 million in 2015, the price was later slashed by $500,000 with extra land thrown in. Yet still, no one seems to want it. So what gives? Is it the price or the eerie silence of the desert that keeps buyers away? Number 7. The Victorian Folly Sway Tower. How fit are you? Fit enough to climb 14 stories up a 218-foot tower house. Welcome to Sway Tower in Hampshire, also known as the Victorian Folly. Built in 1879, this architectural oddity is the tallest unreinforced concrete structure in the world. Despite its uniqueness, the home has struggled to sell. The owners even tried to raffle it off for just £10 a ticket. But it's not all folly. It comes with a 60-foot swimming pool and brings in about £35,000 annually from telecom providers and emergency services thanks to its height. Owner Paul Atlas lived here for 5 decades, but now hopes to sell it for £2.5 million and enjoy a quieter life. The views alone stretch across the New Forest, the South Coast, and even the Isle of Wight. Would you buy it, or is the daily cardio too much of a deal breaker? Number 8. Bubble Palace at 13,000 square feet. The Bubble Palace, or Le Palais Bulls, is one of the most whimsical properties on Earth, but it's also one of the most expensive. Located in the south of France and formerly owned by iconic fashion designer Pierre Cardin, this curvaceous palace is listed at an eye-watering $387 million. Why the price tag? It has 29 bubble-shaped rooms across 6 levels, panoramic views, a 500-seat outdoor auditorium, gardens, pools, and artwork that flows with the bubble theme. But despite all its surreal charm, from above it looks like oil bubbling in a frying pan, which may not be everyone's idea of home sweet home. So the question remains, would you drop $387 million for it? Or would someone have to pay you just to step inside? Number 9. Updown Court. If luxury overload had a face, it would be Updown Court in Surrey. We're talking a mansion with 5 swimming pools, a bowling alley, a helipad, and £9 million worth of marble. Sitting on 58 acres, it was once priced at £75 million. But even with all that, it sat on the market for 6 years and finally sold for half the price. Former real estate agent Leslie Allen Verco bought it for £20 million, spent another £30 million upgrading it, and hoped to make a massive profit. Instead, the annual £1 million upkeep drained him dry, and the Irish government eventually took it over after he defaulted. He once said, "If Elton John were a house, he'd be up down court, but not even Elton Sparkle could find this mansion a buyer." Number 10. Steinway Mansion in Astoria, New York. There's a 27-room mansion once owned by the legendary Steinway piano family. Sounds fancy, right? Well, after owner Michael Halberian passed away in 2010, the property became a heavy burden for his middle-class family. It took 4 years and 2 price cuts before anyone would bite. Originally listed for $3.5 million, the property was eventually split into plots, and the mansion was offered at just $1.9 million. But why so cheap for such grandeur? Because maintaining it required a full staff, and preserving its historic beauty was no easy feat. In 2014, it finally sold to a mystery local couple who promised to preserve the landmark, though they hinted at developing some of the grounds. Would you take on a piece of piano history or let it slip into silence? So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this timestamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.